A unique art show recently came to a close at the Morean Arts Center in St. Petersburg. It was a collaborative effort spearheaded by local artist Mary Klein. Amanda Cooper, the Morean curator of exhibitions and Pinellas Public Schools art instructors, trained to work with the visually impaired. They were all in for this project. The result was a dazzling display. The You Can Feel What You See exhibit included more than 70 pieces of artwork.
The art exhibit that we have is the first of its kind, and it specifically showcases the students who are served in the Vision program throughout Pinellas County Schools. We have over 200 students that are served, and this is their opportunity to showcase their art working with tactiles, so we're able to feel what it is they see. As we know, students who are blind or visually impaired have other senses that are stronger to compensate. So they were able to use tactile materials in order to create the art and represent what it is they see.
I've got involved with this project because I've been an artist for nearly 50 years, and I've been involved with Braille for 11 years. And I finally put the two things together and realized that visually impaired students create just like sighted students do, and it's about time that we appreciate the creations that they make as well as that of their colleagues. It is a show of all visually impaired students' artwork from the Pinellas County Schools.
The show enjoyed a month-long run at the Risser Gallery with artwork displayed by all levels of artists, from elementary through high school.
This is one of the pieces in the show by Sophia Bell from Fugate Elementary, and all of these pieces are tactile in one way or another. You can touch almost all of these pieces and be able to feel what the student sees. This is how a blind or visually impaired student sees a picture, by touch. So if you run your fingers over, like a blind student, you use both hands. The first hand gives you the general area, the second hand gives you refined details, and you run your fingers over all of these things so you feel the lines, you feel the crunchiness of the leaves, the texture of the leaves. Each one of the pieces, in a similar manner to this one, has elements that the public can go through and feel so that they can experience the artwork like a blind or visually impaired student would experience it.
We talked with a couple of Cross Bayou Elementary students whose work was part of the show.
I made a spring picture with a squirrel and some trees and flowers. I have a little bit of help. Her name is Miss Grundy. She helps me with the art.
The most rewarding part is seeing when they learn a skill that they've worked so hard on, and that they can finally do it independently and are able to keep up with their peers and able to learn the skills they need as a visually impaired student, because they have to learn so much more than a regular sighted student.
These are foam pieces, and so he can feel these, and he knew he wanted a sun in the corner. He has an aide that helps him, directs him up into the corner, and then he puts the pieces down.
We also chatted with Malia Basant, who explained how she put her work together.
I used for the cat is I use like felt for the fur, and we pretty much used felt for the whole thing. And for the like summer one, I used like these like shaped things where you like just peel the little back thing off of it and it's like sticky on it, and you can just like put it on there.
This is called Calico Cat by Malia Basant, and Malia is a 5th grader, also at Cross Bayou Elementary. But what she did, she does have some sight. It is faint, but she has sight. And she's very, very artistic. I love that about her. She took pieces of felt and lined them up and glued them down on the page, and actually drew the outline of a cat first and then filled in, and then pieces of foam, and of course the googly eyes. Everybody loves googly eyes because they are very expressive. And besides all of the tactile elements of this, because she can see color, she made it as absolutely colorful as she possibly could. I love that. We had a reception on Saturday, October 14th here, and what was so wonderful was we had a number of the teachers of the visually impaired come, and several of the students come with their families. And the joy seeing these kids find their work on the wall and show it to their family, and their families got so excited about it. It was a very empowering, and it just made the whole thing worthwhile. Anytime that you can get families to, applaud their children's work, that's the best thing in the world. This is two students, Carson and Alyssa, and the first picture shows Carson crawling over a large piece of paper that was taped to the floor, and what they've done in the second picture, they taped chalk, large chalk, to the bottom of his white cane that he uses. And in the third picture, it shows him walking across the paper and drawing with his cane as he's walking. And they did that several times with 4 different colors of chalk to achieve the results here.
Well, it just was really nice to recognize our students and to say, just because you're visually impaired or blind doesn't mean you can't do art. And you just do it in a different way with tactile materials, and you can still make pictures and make beautiful art.
We definitely need to get the community involved, and we need to make people aware, which is one of the reasons why we came up with the idea for the art exhibit, to put our students on display and their work on display to show others what our students can accomplish. So we do need the community's involvement. We do need their participation and their support for our students.
Another special showing here at the Morean was presented by high school art students from Pinellas County Schools. It was part of a special series, the 20th anniversary of the Word and Image exhibition. We invite you to stay with us. We'll be back in a moment on Spectrum of the Arts.